Oh, hello. Good morning and welcome to COVID-19 resources webinar. My name is Natalie Gupton and I am the Director of Business Services and Industry Relations for an organization called AgSafe. My organization, we work nationally, but I am located in Louisville, Kentucky. If you would like to contact me, my cell phone is listed, as well as you may email me at natalie@agsafe.org. Also want to encourage you to check out AgSafe's website, as well as following us on social media. We regularly provide updates, some state specific, and some federal as they come about. So some great things to pay attention to, and we would like to keep you apprised of those things. I want to thank Kentucky State University Cooperative Extension Program for inviting me to speak today to provide some resources during this unprecedented time in our history dealing with a pandemic. I would have never dreamed in my lifetime that we would be where we are today. But so thank you, Dr. Marion Simon with KSU, inviting me to the Third Thursday thing. Her information is on the screen should you need to email her. And of course, it's an ongoing program, and hopefully I'll be able to participate in future events and meet you in person. So as I indicated, we're going to be talking about the coronavirus, or known as COVID-19, in different ways to address the issue for ag employers, for you on the farm, as well as just yourself at home. And first of all, I want to direct you, of course, to the CDC. At this point, I think we all know the things that we can do to protect ourselves, and the main one is to make sure we are washing our hands properly. Doing it often and doing it by the proper CDC guidelines. This wonderful website, it's very simple, very easy to navigate. First, you can see how you can protect yourself, and then also what to do if you're sick. So clicking on those things will take you to different infographics and information that the CDC has available. Additionally, some of the things I'll be showing you through my organization's website will also redirect you to the CDC's website, given they are the Center for Disease Control certified and being able to present this information to us. Next, some local resources here. I wanted to direct you to the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture, Food, and Environment. They have a great resource talking about food safety and COVID-19. And I have that link available if you Google University of Kentucky COVID-19 food. You should be able to get there as well. But just some great FAQs, very straightforward on what to do when handling food. So if you're thinking about still selling at a farmer's market, providing produce to some neighbors, just to settle concerns that, you know, currently there is no evidence to suggest that food produced in the United States can transmit COVID-19, or you can get sick from handling food. Again, that's what the current information is telling us right now, and that's what this document says from the University of Kentucky. Additionally, I wanted to highlight some information I came across. The University of Tennessee Institute of Agriculture has provided some great information for those who are interested in utilizing farmers markets and continuing that sales stream for your business, for your farm. These are active links, and I'm more than happy to share this with you if you email me, and I'm sure Dr. Simon will get that to you as well. So this is the information that's available. Again, if you Google COVID-19 University of Tennessee, you're going to be able to get here as well. But this is the link listed on the screen to get you to these resources. But great information available to think about with the farmers markets, knowing that we are essential services and you being able to provide food to the greater public is deemed essential, and our farmers markets are essential. Of course, I know it will be different for each community, and hope that you're able to get the information that you need if you are still planning to participate in those farmers markets. Next, I'm going to highlight what AgSafe has done and the resources that we have developed and compiled as we help farmers and ag employers navigate COVID-19. We have a dedicated page on our website. We've provided guidance for agricultural operations, and that's what I'm going to be diving into in just a moment, as well as employee training and communication tools. And then to wrap up, I'll be touching on a couple of our frequently asked questions that we've gotten from some of our members. So first here, our COVID-19 resources page. If you go to agsafe.org, I promise you, you can't miss how to get to this page. We have a scrolling banner on our homepage, so you'll be able to go straight to this navigation page where we have things broken out to help you navigate a little bit easier. Now, if you actually do have employees on the farm and wondering what you can do, where to start, that first button, Essential for Employers, are just the basic resources that if you look at anything, click that link to get you to some items to help you continue to safely operate under these conditions. We also have several webinars and videos, some that we've done with partners, some that we've connected to the CDC, as well as some that we ourselves have recorded in the AgSafe office. Just to highlight quickly the health services resources. So those are the pieces that are directly connecting you to the CDC. Many things that are on there are resources for you to access, they're PDFs for you to print out, things to provide to employees, family members, even volunteers. All that information is very relevant to any person that you would be working with in and around during this time. Next, just really to highlight that Essentials for Employers, again, that's that first button. Again, information if you're employing folks, the the SBA Paycheck Protection Program overview. We're just providing quick links to the Department of Treasury there to get more information. As you can see, peeking at the top is COVID-19 employee tips information. So again, encourage you to check that out if you have volunteers, if you have employees. Okay, so getting into some guidance for agricultural operations. So again, I really want to emphasize that whether you have employees that they're on the payroll, you're their full-time employer, you're the part-time employer, you're giving them a paycheck, you're falling here. If you have volunteers, this information is still very relevant. If you have family members, still very, very relevant. Just thinking about anybody that's working on your farm operation in and around you, within each other, if you're not working alone, these are the things that you need to consider and abide by. So let's first talk about the social distancing. I know this has probably been driven home in all the information that has been provided to us. You know, our governor talking about every day, but during the start of the day, you know, even your breaks, your lunches, you need to make sure your folks are at least 6 feet apart. If you can do more, fantastic. But again, that CDC recommendation is that you keep people at least 6 feet apart. You know, we're seeing it in all the grocery stores and the places that we're able to still patron. And so, again, this is the same for working in the field. Keep your workers 6 feet apart. Think about if you need to provide additional seating. You know, do you need to add extra tables, extra chairs, just to ensure that people have adequate space and are at that 6 feet distance. You know, if you have several people working for you and your space does not allow people to be 6 feet apart, then think about breaking your people their lunch breaks into different times so that they have the space that they are required to have. Also think about that with meetings, trainings, if you're doing anything of that sort, to ensure that if you don't have the space, then you need to do more than one meeting, more than one break, to be able to accommodate that. Additionally, when working, space workers out to provide distance between them. You know, one row separating them when they're planting, pruning, thinning, harvesting, any of those type of work that, you know, even in the field, even though they're outside, you want to make sure they're 6 feet apart. And then make more than one pass through a field when harvesting with equipment, just to ensure that you are having that adequate space between each person. Next, going with communicating with workers. And again, this is workers, volunteers, family members, anybody that's coming on your farm. You want to make sure you're talking about that with them about what's going on and what you're doing to stop the spread of germs and the virus. So provide workers with information on the signs and symptoms of COVID-19 and how to minimize the spread of germs. AgSafe has a video. We have one in English and one in Spanish talking about those signs and symptoms. We've pulled information straight from the CDC. We're just communicating that in a video, and those, of course, are free to access on that resource page that I pointed out. Next, tell workers what to do if they feel sick or have a family member that is sick at home. We have those recommendations again from the CDC coming straight from them. We have it available in English and Spanish, and those resources listed there. Again, you can find that on our website. Just continuously communicate what's going on, what you're doing, what workers need to do. The more you talk about it, the more people will become comfortable and know what the new norm is right now. Daily remind workers about what steps you're taking to keep them protected, and identify, you know, who they should come to if they have any questions or concerns. All right, drinking water. You know, if you have any communal areas such as a water jug, think through what is going to work best for your operation. If you have 2 people, then have a policy, or, you know, explain thoroughly on what those 2 people need to do when they're using that water jug. You know, if you have several people, you know, AgSafe, we actually recommend that you assign employee, one person, because you know that they will do it. Assign an employee to serve the drinking water to the crew, to the other workers from the communal water receptacle. ensure the worker serving the water has the proper personal protective equipment. We're talking about gloves. They have that N95 respirator, or at this point, if those are not available, having those gloves, having that cloth face mask, having some PPE available that if they are in closer proximity, if they're able to maintain that 6 feet distance, please do so. But again, just having that one person in charge of cleaning and serving that water receptacle or serving the water for everyone, that things are being cleaned properly. Sanitize that spigot after filling disposable cups after each break. If we're thinking about trying to be environmentally friendly at this point in time, unfortunately, those things are out the window. So if they usually reuse a cup, at this point, try to have disposable cups available so that that you're not inadvertently spreading some germs around. Again, sanitize the spigot. If it comes in contact with a reusable water container, drinking area, so example, a mouth of a water bottle. So again, we encourage you to use those disposable cups, but if you're still choosing to use those reusable water bottles, ensure that, if anything comes into contact, that there's a thorough sanitizing process. I do want to point out on certain sanitizers and cleaners, and I'm not going to get extra specific, but I know for hand sanitizer to work properly, it's got to be completely dry. If you're using Lysol, using bleach, certain sanitizers have to be present and sit for a certain amount of time before it's truly active in sanitizing the area. And that information is clearly explained on the label. So just like we're reading our labels for our pesticides, I encourage you to read and reread and explain these things on your sanitizers for yourself and to your employees, that they thoroughly understand for these products to work, they must be used in the way that is explained on the label. And that is good advice for the home as well. So go home and read those cleaning labels and make sure that you're using it properly. Worker transportation. So if you provide a company vehicle or you're transporting workers yourself, think about cleaning your vehicles. Ensure that those vehicles are being cleaned and sanitized on the inside and out regularly, ideally once a day. Think about your own vehicle, not just the workers. Are you cleaning the steering wheel? Are you cleaning the doorknob? Are you cleaning the gear shift? All those things that you're touching frequently. You may, we shouldn't, we have a little itch on our face and we touch our face and then we touch our steering wheel. So all those things to consider, that hopefully we're not overlooking our vehicles. If it is essential for you to use transportation on your farm operation, in your business, such as a van or bus to transport people, sanitize at least twice a day is what we recommend, following employee pickup and drop off. All points of contact, think about that again, not just for the driver, but for the passengers. You got your seats, your seat belts, your doorknobs, your knobs, your doorknobs, your handles, your buttons, your armrests, all those things that people are going to be touching, riding in that vehicle. Ensure ample ventilation and airflow, and if possible, seat workers spaced at least 6 feet apart. This could be very cumbersome, but again, we've got to stay apart. If you're shoving everybody in a van and then you try to space them out once you get to the destination, I mean, what was the point? They were already on top of each other in the vehicle. What's it matter if they're not distant in the field? So think about that you need to take all these steps seriously and think through your transportation and what you need to do so that you can work through that social distancing requirement. So portable restrooms and hand washing, whether it's your regular restroom or you're dealing with a porta pot in those portable restrooms, think through the best way to keep this clean and sanitized. Just like the water, we're thinking about assigning an employee to sanitize the portable restroom, all those areas that individuals are touching. You got doorknobs, locks, toilet seats, the hand washing facilities, the spigot, soap dispenser, your paper towel dispenser, frequently through the day. Again, if you have a larger operation, you have several people working, it is prudent to assign an employee to take care of these things because it's being done and being done properly. As with the water, we're talking about having proper PPE. You've got the respirator, you've got the disposable gloves, all those things that the CDC recommends for people in close proximity. Provide sanitizing product for employees to sanitize portable restrooms, again, all those areas, and hand washing facilities after each use. Ensure workers are trained in how to properly sanitize, again, the proper amount of time the cleaner needs to sit before it is wiped away, and that the expectation that they follow this procedure is communicated frequently. I would imagine a lot of us are going to fall here that each worker is doing this on their own and you're not assigning somebody. Again, explaining these proper procedures will help protect everyone that's working for you and around you. Assign a supervisory employee to monitor compliance, so you could have somebody checking in periodically, asking questions, maybe monitor every once in a while just to double check that people are doing it correctly. Going into sanitizing equipment and tools. More frequent sanitation of all equipments and tools is critical. Ensure teams already responsible for cleaning do so frequently. We say at a minimum once a day, potentially more. If people are using different tools and several different people are using the same tool, yes, you must clean that after each person touches it. Do not forget following items that can be overlooked. Think about your tractors. If you have forklifts, skid steer loaders, your four-wheelers, your UTVs, your ATVs, all those vehicles and pieces of equipment that people are using frequently, got to clean and sanitize them. Got your seats, your seat belts, knobs, doors, handles, and buttons. Think about it, if it's just yourself, if you've been to the grocery store, if you've been out getting gas, you're getting supplies for the farm, you're out in the public, thinking about where you've been and if you could have contaminated something. So if you're working alone, think about these frequently touched areas. How often are you cleaning them for yourself? Think about these things that you may or may not have been so attentive to prior to our current situation. Cleaning those areas more often, even if you're just working by yourself, I believe it would be prudent to do so. Think about your farm, your operation. Where are the areas of congregation and meeting, both inside and outside? Were people reporting for the shift? Are you doing any tailgate trainings? You're doing a quick morning review, giving assignments, what you need to do for the day. Where are those areas? Are people touching things, people sitting down? Think of those areas and ensure that you're sanitizing them and cleaning them as much as possible. You've got some things to think about. You've got your chairs. If you in larger areas, out west, they've got shade trailers, their buckets, your refrigerator handles, coolers, water jugs, vending machines, garbage cans. think of all those areas that people touch frequently, multiple times throughout the day. You've got to think also about your shop, your hand tools, your maintenance equipment, bottles and containers that are used daily, your employee equipment and tools, your bins, your hand tools, again, your garbage cans, all those high traffic areas and materials that you need, that you use frequently, to pay attention to that and to sanitize and clean those as much as possible. Okay, so things to think about, and again, this is more of if you're dealing with an employee, a volunteer that's not a family member. You get into some more gray areas in employee protections. In my organization, we are based in California, so we're always at the T-top of compliance in everything we do. So with the Equal Opportunity Commission, they have said employers may do the following in accordance with the ADA or the Americans with Disabilities Act. You are allowed to take all employees' temperatures at the start of the day. So if you are employing folks, because of our situation, you are allowed to take their temperature at the start of each day. But you must be very careful and ensure that you keep all this information confidential. You need to have a record of what you're doing and recording the employee's name and their temperature, all those pieces of information. You may have those records, but you must keep them confidential. You don't want to, take employees A's temperature, all right, Joe's 98.6, next. You don't want to do that. You don't want to announce everybody's status to the entire crew. You just want to say, all right, and if you're dealing with somebody that is showing a temperature, you've got to handle that situation in a professional manner and try to keep things as private as possible in that situation. Two, you may ask an employee to provide their symptoms when they're calling in sick. Again, you're welcome to do this. Again, all records must be confidential, and you don't want to be like, well, so Cindy called in today and she's sick and she had a temperature of 102. Don't really want to do that unless Cindy called, her best friend that she works with and said, hey, guys, I'm not feeling well. I'm not coming in today, in addition to calling you, the boss. So it has to be the employee that tells people, not you, the employer. Okay, again, highlighting the things that we have available on our website. We have videos. We do have available in English and Spanish. We have employee tips, as well as signs, symptoms, and minimizing the spread of germs, both available in English and Spanish. If you have a lot of folks that are working for you, this is a great thing to show, to explain what to be aware of, how to work in as normal as possible and continue going and provide food or working in your operation as safely as possible, because the world needs ag, our country needs ag to keep us going. We also have handouts. You're able to click on active links that we have on our website. If you're redirected to the CDC or anything that we have created, you can download and print and distribute as you wish. To help inform employees, your family members, your volunteers, anybody that you think that would be pertinent information for, take advantage of that. Next, we have some frequently asked questions. I'm not going to go into the answers. They can be a little lengthy, but we touched on some of these, especially with the Family First Act and the pandemic. Actually touched more on the pandemic preparedness, but these are available on our website, FAQs. There's a very easy link. Click on it, and these questions and their answers are laid out along with some resources. If you're looking for more information on the topic beyond what the answers we have laid out. So again, a great resource to take advantage there if you're needing more information related to these questions. Next, just wanted to give a quick plug. You know, a lot of us are, if you're working producing fruits and vegetables, you're thinking about the farmers market. We have some great information coming up in a webinar next Wednesday, April 22nd at 9 a.m. It's a free webinar. Again, AgSafe is hosting this through Zoom. And we have some wonderful partners that are joining me to talk about all their food safety resources. We're going to talk about the Food Safety Modernization Act, the Produce Safety Rule, and just produce safety in general, and those resources that each entity has available that you can access as a grower in the community in this region. A lot of these groups have information that no matter what state you're in, it's very relevant and a very useful tool available. Just like today, I shared University of Kentucky as well as the University of Tennessee. So lots of resources out there for us to utilize. And the registration link is here on the bottom of the screen, agsafe.org/food safety videos with those hyphens. The link for the registration for the webinar is there. Additionally, there are some food safety videos for training. Must highlight there's actually one that talks about worker health and hygiene outside of COVID-19. So very important when handling produce. So a very pertinent video right now talking about worker health and hygiene. And again, that's in English and Spanish. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, I appreciate your time, your concern, and thinking about what you can do to keep yourself safe, keep your employees safe, so you can continue to serve the world, to serve our state, in providing the food that we need. AgSafe.org, you can access all those resources that I discussed, along with all those tips and videos and webinars. All those links are available on that website. Additionally, I'll be happy to provide a copy of this if you email me at natalie@agsafe.org or reach out to Dr. Simon. We'll get the copy of this to you so you can have it for reference as well. So again, everyone have a wonderful and safe day.